This play was good enough for us, Harry. It was Romeo and Juliet. I must admit, I was rather annoyed at the idea of seeing Shakespeare done by such a wretched shithole of a place. Still, I felt interested, in a sort of way. At any rate, I determined to wait for the first act. There was a dreadful orchestra, presided over by a young boy who sat at a cracked piano, that nearly drove me away. But at the last drop scene was drawn up, the play began, blah blah blah. So, my friend, Romeo was a stout, fat, elderly man with corked eyebrows, a husky, very deep voice, and a figure that made him look like a fucking tire. Mercutio was almost as bad. He was played by the low comedian who had to introduce gags of his own and was on most familiar terms with the pit. They were as grotesque as the scenery, and that looked as if it had come out of a pantomime of 50 years ago. But Juliet, Henry. Imagine a girl, hardly 17 years of age, with a little flower-like face, a small Greek head with plaited coils of dark brown hair, eyes that were violet wells of passion, lips that were like the petals of a rose. She was the loveliest thing I have ever seen in my life. You said to me once that pathos left you unmoved, but the beauty, mere beauty, could fill your eyes with tears. I tell you, Harry, I could hardly see this girl for the mist of the tears that came across my eyes. And her voice. I had never heard such a voice. It was very low at first, with deep mellow notes that seemed to fall singingly upon one's ears. Then it became a little louder, and sounded like a flute or a distant harpsichord. In the garden scene, it had all the tremulous ecstasy that one hears just before dawn when nightingales are singing. There were moments later on when it had the wild passion of violins. You know how a voice can stir one. Your voice and the voice of Sybil are two things that I shall never forget. When I close my eyes, I hear them, and each of them says something different. I don't know which to follow. Why should I not love her, Harry? I do love her. She is everything to me in life. Night after night, I go to see her play. One evening, she's Rosalind. The next evening, she's Imogen. I have seen her die in the gloom of an Italian tomb, sucking the poison from her lover's lip. I have watched her wandering through the forest of Arden, disguised as a pretty boy in a hose and dainty cap. She has been a mad and has come into the presence of a guilty king, and given him rue to wear and bitter herbs to taste of. She has been innocent, and the black hands of jealousy have crushed her reed-like throat. I have seen her in every age, in every costume. Ordinary women never appeal to one's imagination. They are limited to their century. No glamour ever transfigures them. One knows their minds as easily as one knows their bonnets. One cannot always find them. There is no mystery in one of them. They ride in the park in the morning and chatter at tea parties in the afternoon. They have their stereotyped smile and their fashionable manner. They are quite obvious. But an actress, how different an actress is. Why didn't you tell me that the only thing worth living for and loving is an actress?